I think that the removal of the statues around the U.S. of the Confederate statues, I think that's a good thing because we don't need a reminder of the horrible things that America's done in the past. Well, a lot of my friends I know who have had parents or great grandparents who faced a lot of discrimination because of their race or their religion, and I don't think it's okay for there to be reminders of the terrible things that's happened like that in the past. I don't want that to continue to today. I guess I could see someone who enjoys history and studying the mistakes that we've made in the past to keep the statues up because it's a reminder of the mistakes not to make in the future again. So I think just listening to their reasoning on why they believe that way, or just reading an article on how on a person who supports that idea might help me empathize with them a little bit more.
Would you consider watching a short video on the Confederate history and the Civil War as a way to further understand the other side?
Yes, I would, because it's a great way to understand both sides on the story, and it's always great to view a subject objectively rather than personally. Yeah, I'll definitely spend some of my time to watch that video to get a different view on the issue. I think it's important for people from both sides of the party to view the opposite side of the issue, because it's really important to not be too emotional or biased in your opinion, and you need to view it through an objective lens to make an informed decision.
My position on the removal of the monuments is I think we should keep them there. I think they're a part of our history, and I think some of the monuments are pretty. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of them. I've seen some pictures. It tells us where we've been, and maybe we can learn from it. But it's definitely part of our history, and we're not going to remove pieces of history that we may or may not agree with, but they're important. I think I was born Jewish, and I have Jewish ancestors, and I know that my parents have seen the concentration camps, and they're still there. I mean, even though people, even in Germany and Poland, they don't agree with what Hitler did and what the Nazis did, they're still keeping it there to remember the history so it doesn't happen again. So that's my upbringing, my background. I think that somebody would take the opposite stand where they'd want to take them down is perhaps their life experiences and their upbringing, where they want to maybe wipe out stuff that maybe doesn't agree with them, or things that they don't want to look at because it may open up old wounds or other emotions that they just haven't reconciled with yet, or something like that. So I can see how it would be important for them to take them down. I don't agree with, but I could see how they would want to take them down.
Yeah.
Understanding other people's point of view, I'm just in general in life, I try not to be judgmental, and I try to see how other people would feel. In this situation, I just can't, because it's a really controversial topic and subject, and it's bigger than just the monument. It's bigger than just a building. It's equal rights and fighting for what's really important to them. So for that reason, I could see why they would want to take it down and perhaps maybe replace it with something else that could show something like that.
Yeah. Would you consider listening to perhaps a friend or acquaintance with differing values and views to further understand the topic?
Sure. I think I would try maybe talking to people who perhaps had different backgrounds, or talk to some of my really good friends that are Black and just ask them, if this offends them, and just ask them outright, would you want to see these monuments down, and why, or would you keep them up, and just start a conversation? I think I could get more empathy or understanding. It's learning more about it, because ignorance can cause hatred and misunderstanding. So I think the more informed people are, the more people can realize, where people are coming from. You'll never be able to get in anybody else's shoes, but learn a little bit more about their background, their experiences, and where they do come from.